Hey, I'm assuming you're here for the sad anime girl with the hands. Well, she shows up later in this video, like around here if you just want to skip there and move on. There's not much context for it anyway, but I do have an opening act if you want to stick around. Yeah? Alright, so like a year ago, AI art was a huge controversy. I mean, it still is, but I'm not here to talk about that. Anyway, there was a meme running around that you can tell a drawing was AI art because the hands were bad. And some artists made jokes like, yeah, only AI can't draw hands. You didn't see that. And that got me thinking, I should get better at drawing hands. And I really needed to start because AI was getting better at drawing hands too. So that brings me to the title of this video. I want to get better at drawing hands, so I force myself to keep drawing hands until I hate drawing hands. Or I hate drawing hands for short. I don't think it's misleading at all. Okay, so here I have a bit over 250 references on Pinterest. Assuming like an average of 4 hands per pin means about 1,000 hands to draw, which is actually quite a lot. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Oh look, a page is done. Okay, so here's some stats. This took about an hour to draw and used up 3 out of the 250 references. So I'm looking at about 83 hours of drawing hands. Page 2 and page 3 are done. That's a total of 137 hands and 1 foot. I don't know how the foot got in there. But this is going pretty well so far. For page 4, I'm gonna start doing the tutorial references that I saved. Yeah, I probably should have done those first. I'm not sure why I drew 3 pages of hands before learning how to draw them, but sometimes the horse can learn to push the cart, right? Hey guys, why do thumbs make bad dictators? Because they are opposable. What do you call a mummified hand? Empalmed. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, wait, I have another one. Why do we count with our fingers? Because they are digits. You either didn't get that or you got it and are very disappointed with how weak that joke was. Speaking of counting, did you know you can count to 31 with one hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Now, anyone who knows computers will realize I'm counting in binary, where instead of each finger having a value of 1, they have different values. For example, this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, 8, and 16. So, for example, these fingers together will be 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7. You might be wondering, what's the use of all of this? And the answer is almost nothing. In my entire life, I have only found one use for this. See, I play volleyball, and in volleyball, you have 2 teams and the score goes up to 25. Guess what? You have 2 hands and each hand can count to 31, which is perfect for keeping score. This does get kind of funny though, because sometimes someone will come up and be like, hey, what's the score? And I'm like, oh, give me a second. Let's see, this is 16 plus 2 plus 1, 19, and this is 8 plus 4 plus 2, 14. Okay, so the score is 19 to 14, and they're like, you sure? Let me double check. Yep, that's right. I did my math right. Okay, I'll trust you. I didn't realize you need to do math to count, but okay. And then they walk away. And I always found that funny for some reason. Anyway, back to the scheduled program. And that's pages 4, 5, 6, and 7 done with 25, 51, 69, nice, and 64 hands. Oh my god, when I close my eyes, I just see the hand references I've drawn. Hey look, a hand holding a cigarette. Remember kids, smoking kills. That's why you should always start smoking. That was a joke by the way. Please don't start smoking to kill yourself. It takes too long. And that's page 8. I feel like instead of getting better at drawing hands, I'm just getting better at fitting them on a single page. On page 9 now, and I realize I have way too many references left, so I decided to speedrun. I'm going to draw one hand every 20 seconds without stopping. So to do this, I have this timer thing that'll beep every 20 seconds telling me when to move on, and that's how I'm keeping pace. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to keep track. But this also means I only have like really 18 or 19 seconds to draw each hand because I'm going to have to move around the page and find the next hand reference and all of that. Oh, looks like I finished. That was quick. Must have been easy, huh? Yeah, you saw me right, dear viewer. Just a nice easy 446 hands. Piece of pie. Alright, so honestly, the counting was worse than the drawing. I started color coding my counting part way so that way I didn't have to write 100 every single time I counted a hand. But regardless, doesn't this sheet look kind of cool? It's like a wallpaper design. I mean, with like a bunch of disembodied hands, which is kind of creepy, but cool nonetheless. Don't look too close at the hands though. They're not that great. But yeah, after this page, like I can barely feel my hand anymore, and I don't think I can do any more speed runs. Especially now that pages 10, 11, 12, and 13 are done with another 513 hands. Why do I do this to myself? I've done enough drawing now, or at least I'm sick of it, so I'm gonna start painting, which means value studies, or black and white drawings, which is boring but necessary. If you can't get a drawing right in black and white, then you cannot get it right in color. Also, if you can't draw well, you can't paint well, which is why I did like the 1,000 plus drawings before this moment. Values done. I could use a bit more practice, but I'm moving on. Time to practice color. I've got some pretty crazy references here with a whole lot of hue shifts. What's really cool is real life skin can also have hue changes like these, though usually not as extreme as the references. It's really cool though, and definitely something I'm gonna have to spend way more time practicing to learn, but I finished 250 references and I refuse to do more. Here are the final stats. I do have a couple of references left over, and they all happen to be horror themed. I think it's interesting how hands can make great horror art, and after spending the last I don't even know how long drawing them, I think I know why. It's because hands are a nightmare to draw. Anyway, you might notice one reference here is kind of familiar. Yeah, it's this one. The anime girl with the creepy hands reaching for her. I thought this was a cool reference, so I decided to make an animation inspired by that. Hence the thumbnail you saw. Let's watch it together.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
I'm sorry. I know it's a dead meme, but I still find it hilarious. Anyway, I want to talk about this animation for a little bit because I spent way too much time on it. The first sketch was, this is the first sketch. I kept it similar to the pin where like it starts off from the side and the hands kind of reach out. And then there was going to be a camera shift that would grab her and pull her back and all that. I didn't like this because it looks really weird, right, when she turns. So I decided to scrap that and kept it entirely in this front angle so you can see her expression. But then I also changed it because you could see like this person like freaks out before getting grabbed, and I thought that was pretty boring. So I decided not to do that. Instead, she just kind of like, oh, I guess this is happening now. Oh well. Here we go. And it gets grabbed into oblivion. Oh, well, more like Skyrim, but you get the point. You might try to get away from Skyrim, but Skyrim will always come back and grab you. Anyway, I'm both super proud of this animation, but also I have so many problems with it now that I've finished and learned from it. I think this is the true state of being an artist, perpetually loving and hating the art you make. Anyway, I'm done. Let's wrap this up. I have spent many hours drawing hands, and now I can draw most hands without a reference, but I'd say the hands I draw are only passable. They're not that good. For example, in the animation, all those hands were drawn from imagination, and they're not bad, but they don't really stand out. They're not that impressive. I also find it hard to draw hands doing weird things or holding things, especially other hands. Honestly, it's kind of disheartening that after all of this, I'm not a hand master. That sounds so stupid. But it's also encouraging because it means I have room to grow. To summarize, I've just drawn a bunch of hands to realize I still need to draw more. That's all. The lesson is you're never good enough. Goodbye. Go draw some hands. Hello. The video's over. Are you still here? Well, I'm just gonna talk then. Originally, I wanted to do like a skit for the opening of like me trying to draw hands on a character and be like, yeah, drawing hands is super easy, and then I mess up. And then I'm like, oh no, actually this character is a pirate that has 2 hooks and 2 eye patches because they accidentally rubbed their eyes with their hook hands. And I decided to scrap it because I think it was kind of dumb. But, you know, I only have like 6 subscribers right now. And I think it's a great thing. I think it's great to have no subscribers because no one's going to hear anything here in this part of the video. So I can just say the most insane things and no one will know. Like, I eat soap. My favorite flavor of soap is Dove soap, which is convenient because I wash my hands with Dove chocolate.